Imagine the roar of engines echoing through the grandstands at Daytona in February 1964, where the air hung thick with the scent of high-octane fuel and burning rubber. Ford had ruled NASCAR the year before, their 427 high-riser V8s powering galaxies to victory after victory. But on this day, everything changed. Richard Petty, behind the wheel of a Plymouth Belvedere, crossed the finish line first, with two more Hemi-powered Mopars right behind him in second and third. It was a clean sweep for Chrysler's brand-new 426 Hemi, a monstrous 426 cubic inch beast with hemispherical combustion chambers that breathed like nothing else, pumping out over 425 horsepower in street trim and up to 500 in race spec, leaving Ford's engineers stunned and Henry Ford II fuming in the pits. Desperate to strike back and reclaim their throne, Ford's team huddled in Dearborn and issued a directive that would birth one of the most audacious engines in American automotive history. Build something bigger, meaner, and faster than the Hemi, and do it fast. No more than 90 days, they said, turning what started as a side project into the legendary 90-day wonder. What emerged from those frantic months was the 427 SOHC, or Cammer as it came to be known, a 427 cubic inch evolution of Ford's proven FE big block, but with a radical twist. Single overhead cams, one per cylinder bank, perched high above massive hemispherical heads cast from lightweight aluminum, allowing for enormous 2.0-inch intake and exhaust valves that gulped air like a storm, fed either by a single Holley 4-barrel or dual Gurney Westerman setups for even more fury. This wasn't just an engine, it was a mechanical sledgehammer, weighing in at around 680 pounds with a forged steel crankshaft, cross-bolted mains for rock-solid durability, and roller rocker arms that let it scream to 7,500 RPM without flinching. Dyno testing at 616 horsepower stock with the single carb and pushing past 657 with the duals, numbers that made the Hemi's output look downright pedestrian on paper. But here's where the drama thickens. Ford rushed 50 or so Cammers into production cars like Thunderbirds and Fairlines to meet NASCAR's homologation rules, only for Bill France Sr., the sanctioning body's iron-fisted founder, to slam the door shut just days before the 1955 Daytona 500, deeming the overhead cam design too exotic and un-American for stock car racing, a move widely whispered to be political payback amid the escalating war between the Big Three. NASCAR's ban didn't just sideline the Cammer from the ovals, it lumped it in with the Hemi as one of the special racing engines outlawed for the season, sparking Chrysler's infamous boycott and leaving fans salivating over a showdown that never came, though some reports suggest the Cammer edged out the Hemi in private tests by a hair, its superior breathing giving it a torque curve that pulled harder from 4,000 RPM on up. Undeterred, Ford pivoted to the drag strips of the NHRA, where rules favored raw power over politics, and that's when the Cammer truly unleashed its wrath. Slipping into AFX Mustangs and altered wheelbase Fairlines, it scorched the quarter mile, powering legends like Mickey Thompson's Mach 1 funny car to unbeatable low ETs in 1969, while nitro-fueled top fuel variants in the hands of Connie Khalida, Sneaky Pete Robinson, and even a young Dom the Snake Prudhomme shattered records left and right. Picture this, the Shelby Super Snake Dragster, a twin-turbo terror with a supercharged Cammer, becoming the first NHRA machine to dip under 6 seconds in the quarter mile back in 1966, its 427 bellowing like a freight train as it humiliated Hemi-powered rivals in head-to-head runs, clocking 5.99 at 234 miles per hour and leaving plumes of smoke from tires that couldn't grip the Fury. In top fuel, the Cammer's robust side-oiler block held up under insane boost pressures, outlasting early Hemis that cracked under the strain. And by the late 1960s, it was the go-to for Ford faithful pushing 2,000-plus horsepower on nitromethane, dominating classes where the Hemi once reigned unchallenged. Khalida's log-bodied rail racking up wins at Bakerstown and York, while Robinson's flopper ran consistent 6.20s, proving the Cammer's rev-happy nature translated to straight-line brutality better than anyone expected. Even off the strip, whispers persist of a few rogue Cammers finding their way into street machines. Thunderbird prototypes tested at 150-plus miles per hour on the highway, their massive magnesium valve covers glinting under the sun, a forbidden fruit for hot rodders who shelled out $2,300 for a crate motor that could transform any Galaxy into a sleeper terror. Yet for its all drag strip glory, the camera faded into obscurity by the early 1970s as Ford shifted focus to emissions-compliant mills and smaller blocks, production ceasing around 1969 with fewer than 100 ever built, leaving it as the ultimate what-if of muscle car lore. A forgotten giant that never got its NASCAR revenge, but humbled the Hemi where it counted most, on the blacktop ribbons of America's dragways. Today, with aftermarket heads from outfits like Bullet Racing breathing new life into restorations, the camera lives on in garages from coast to coast, a testament to Ford's ingenuity and a reminder that sometimes the engines that never raced the ovals left the deepest scars on history. And that's something worth remembering when you next hear a big block V8 thunder past, wondering what untamed power it might be hiding.